dry a little bit recently as well. This has got a big match feel about it for me, Matt. Of course, Oscar going in this undefeated. Charlotte, I wish to Christ they'd have kept that pay-per-view streak. I really do, because this would have been even grander than it already is. This would have had even more strength to it if you could have put them two combinations together. Would have been absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, we haven't got that option. For you, Matt, how good and how much are you looking forward to this match on paper? And also, what does this mean in general for the women in general? When we talk about this, I know they throw that bloody line at Revolution Prime, the evolution, revolution, whatever you want to call it. How important is this match, Matt, to take place right here and now?
Well, if they want to throw that line out of the women's evolution, I think since that whole thing has started, this will be the biggest match in that entire thing. I mean, I know we talked fondly about our NXT time when we saw Sasha versus Bayley, and to me that was the birth. But now we've gone from that to where we are now at the peak. We're even at a clash of styles. Asuka, she was innovating before WWE had even decided they were going to go down that direction. Asuka was fighting men in Japan and stuff like Tajiri and that. She was blazing her own trail, and I think it's great now that we've had such a clash of styles. We're coming in from Japan, taking the style of Asuka, and we're coming in with a WWE made star in Charlotte. We've got that pedigree in her as well, straight from Ric Flair, down here, pure wrestling we're talking about, and we're going to get this collide now in WrestleMania, like the perfect stage to showcase this as well. And coming off that, like this undefeated streak is something incredible, isn't it? We're talking about over 900 days, and we're looking at what was something ridiculous, like 40 women, 35 women. That's quite. I didn't even realise WWE were putting in that many people. They must be working with a lot of indie people to get those numbers up. That's for sure. So I think it's going to be incredible. The only downside to this is, Charlotte, up until they probably had the idea pop into their head, they weren't booking her strong enough. If she can win this, that's incredible for her. Because that puts her really at the top of the peak of the mountain, really. I'm not too sure it would go down that way. Kind of feel like...
I mean, I'll stop you there before we give you... Oh, sorry, but literally just knocked everything off there. Getting into the WrestleMania spirit when the podcast goes down, doesn't it? No, but my feeling about this, before you give your prediction there, is that I think people are expecting this to be absolutely clear cut that Oscar wins. But the thing I'm thinking about on this one is that it's WrestleMania, and every streak does end, and whenever they build streaks up and they tell you more and more about it, it can also be a sign that they're about to end it as well. And that's why they keep playing those extra videos. So there are two ways of looking at things sometimes. Like I know it sounds ridiculous, but also if you think about, I guess if you think ahead, you think of Ronda, you think how she's going to be presented. Now we've not seen her in the ring, but we can only imagine that she's going to get every chance imaginable given to her, and she's going to be a huge deal. And that's what they're going to work towards for next year. I mean, that's in the title picture. And I know it sounds bizarre, but as much as we say Oscar could get put on the map here, this is also an opportunity for Charlotte to reclaim that dominance that she once had. And if you look in the statistics, the numbers game of WWE, the way they normally do things, they do have that week period of sometimes even 6 months, and then all of a sudden they hand them something that just, you're like, wow, that's all I needed. It's a bit like when Brock beat Undertaker. I mean, he wasn't the strongest going into that. In fact, he lost, the year before that to a Triple H and all the rest of it. So, I mean, you just never know. And so I don't think it's as clear-cut as what people think it is. For me, personally, I think they'd be making a mistake not to have Oscar win this that night. But I can see reason for them to also keep it with Charlotte and have her retain. And I know that sounds quite ridiculous, but it just makes me wonder, Matt, because since Oscar's gone up there, they didn't always rant and rave about this streak, and now all of a sudden they are, and it's making me question, why are they doing that? Are they just trying to use that to make you think that way? And yet, often when they do that, it's a sure sign that they're about to lose it. But I may be reading too much into this. I think it's a really difficult one to choose. The bookies have been up and down a bit, although Oscar has pretty much stayed favourite. They are not giving. They're giving very short odds for Charlotte, so they're very confused about it as well. Which I think, again, this is another great match build up to it, Matt. It's good for a change because honestly, the last few weeks I've been like, Oscar's winning this, no doubt about it. But as I've drawn closer, I'm thinking, man, maybe it's not as clear cut as we once thought, and maybe this is Charlotte's moment as well. So this is a really tough one. Even now, I'm deciding in my head who the hell I'm going with here, Matt. Matt, have you had a firm favourite? I guess like Oscar. Have you changed any of the times with this match?
Yeah, I haven't changed. I've edged closer to Charlotte, but then I've always remained in my mind that it will be Oscar. And I kind of like it when you start to overthink things, start to think about how it would be ideal in your own mind, and then it just reminds me of that Triple H match when he had against The Undertaker.
Right.
And he took. I want to see, before I see Asuka lose, I want to see her taken to her limit. I want to see that she has a breaking point and that she can be beaten without necessarily her streak being broken.
Sure.
You know, I want to see her come out of this match, you know, not necessarily injured so she's off TV, but I want to see it so she's limping and she's taken to the limit, and you know that if they had a rematch, which, you know, is bound to happen, you know, they've got to have another Charlotte and Asuka match after this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be good in the first place. Then you can believe Charlotte could do the job the next time around.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also, the more I think about this, the more I have to think about the other title matches going on this night. Like, how many crownings are they going to have in one night? You've got to think about that as well. Are they going to have both Japanese stars winning their respective titles? Are they going to play it out like that? You've got to weigh up the heels and the faces of winning this. And how it goes, this is so difficult. My God, I feel like I want to come back to this one, but it's a good sign. This is a good sign of a good WrestleMania match, no doubt about it. When it's like this, I'm going to go Charlotte, Matt. I'm going Charlotte. It's really difficult because I think I could be totally wrong. And like you say, I think Oscar may be taken to a limit and still win. But taken to a limit. It's a difficult one, but I'm going to go Charlotte. I'm going to go for an upset for a lot of people's eyes. I'm going Charlotte. Matt, for you?
Yeah, I'm going Oscar.
Oscar.
So close. It even makes it even more close that you know it's going to hinge on a submission. You know, so it's really going to be a test of taking someone to the absolute limit because neither one's going to want to tap out.
Yeah, absolutely. So but in general, this match, Matt, how good could this match be? And, you know, I know a lot of people are saying AJ and Nakamura is going to be the match of the night, but the potential is here for this one to also do pretty well, is it not?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I can tell you it's going to be better than Roman versus Brock.
Yeah, I think you've won the award there from our fans now. You said that. That's it. The feminist. That's what Vince wants to see. He wants to see strong, sexy, powerful every time you see it. That's what he wants. I wonder what reaction when Oscar comes back through the curtain. Vince will. Damn it, strong, sexy. Okay, Mr. McMahon. Yeah, it should be a great match. I honestly believe that. I think this one. I think it's just good the fact that we can't tell too much, but we've been very divided here, Matt. I mean. Literally very divided. I know we both went with Alexa Bliss, but
we're gonna have to tally this up at the end.
We're gonna. I've written them all down, so don't you worry. I've recorded it all. Okay, let's move on now, folks. And before we do, I just want to throw out. I know I've been saying it through the podcast, but just give a shout out here that tomorrow night, of course, Saturday night, NXT Takeover, as it happens for the first time on this podcast. Join us for an interactive show. Anything you want to share, any news, any rumours, because I know there's going to be plenty, any of your predictions. Let us know any shout-outs you want. Tell us what you're doing for WrestleMania weekend. You might even be there, which will be even better. Tell us about what you're up to. And that's all at wrestleline@gmail.com. Really encourage you to do that. We'll be going 10 minutes before showtime. If you hit the notification button on some of the devices that you can get and platforms, they'll give you a little alert before we go out. I'll put an exact time, and it will go to your time zone wherever you are. So hope you join us for that. Okay, Matt, we're going to another match now and on the podcast we are at the 115 mark of minutes here, Matt. So we're doing well. And of course, it's the match that probably has got the most. I think WWE have tried to put as much resources into this as physically possible. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon up against the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle and a non-gold medalist but still an Olympic competitor herself, and former UFC women's champion Ronda Rousey in her first match. Lots to be excited about, but one thing I'm not been that excited about, Matt, is the build to this match. I'm going to put it out there. I think it's been bloody awful. All this potential that they had with Ronda, I just feel like they've wasted it, and they really haven't done anything to excite me any more than I already was when I saw it at the Royal Rumble. Like there's been nothing added to this. The only things that have been decent are those promo videos, and quite frankly, they should have just kept with him. Every time I see her in the ring, I feel there's an awkwardness there. It's weird, really, but I don't know. I'm a huge Ronda Rousey fan. I want to put that out there. I've got T-shirts of Ronda Rousey. I've got 2, in fact, that I own. So I'm a big Ronda fan. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know what it is, Matt. But when I see her, when I watch Raw, I don't know if this is how you are, but this is how I am. She makes me feel like awkward for her, and I don't like it. I'm like always thinking, oh no, you know, like what next? You know, and it's just like, my God. I think she was much better doing the interview backstage with Kurt Angle. She was just talking like herself. When she's in the ring and she's got the microphone, Matt, it really doesn't seem to be working for her that well. But I also have got to say, it's not helped with doing this whole thing between her and Triple H and Stephanie every week. And it's almost like repetitive. It's like going over the same old lines. Now I know the Go Home Raw, which everyone was sort of talking about, was a little bit different, and I liked the fact that Stephanie tapped into. I like that line she used where she said, "You know, we all know how you reacted last time you lost." I thought that was like, that was pushing some buttons, a little bit of realism for a change. But that's the only thing they've really done as far as a crossover goes. But man, Kurt Angle just looks like the dad. Triple H looks like a bit of a dad if you think about the last year he's had with the flipping Shield coming out, and Kurt Angle's been in the exact same position with the Shield as well. I feel like it's coming across a bit like that. I'm hoping, Matt, the actual match end product, by the time I've seen this, I would have forgotten about everything I've seen up until this point. First and foremost, Matt, for you, this feud. Have you been accepting of it, or have you been a little bit like me and a little bit disappointed?
Yeah, it is disappointing. I would have loved to see an actual proper physical contest with Ronda and a legitimate, female wrestler. I'm not saying Stephanie's bad. I mean, I like her in the ring work, but compared to Ronda, you'd think one-on-one she'd be destroyed.
Yeah.
So I would have kind of liked a little bit more legitimacy. And like you said, it is very awkward seeing them all in the ring together. And when Triple H cuts lines on her, like, in this ring, you don't know what you're doing, I'm kind of thinking, stop saying the obvious. We don't try and make her look good. That doesn't. I'm believing you more now.
Yeah, it's almost like Triple H is just saying whatever he wants, like he was on that walk around at Access. He's literally not sticking to any script. He's just like talking off the cuff. Yeah, I mean, you can tell he's wanted this to work. Stephanie's wanted it to work. One of our emailers, Frank, who's the first time emailer in, but he raised a really good point, and he said that The problem is with this is that he's seen Stephanie and Triple H on these shows, like these interview shows, all week, and they kind of go on it, and then they act like, because they'll go,